Hey everybody, it's Lee coming live from Greystone Chiropractic. I want to say hello and wish you a happy July 4th. Hope everybody had a really great free celebration last weekend. And if those of you are still away on holiday, enjoy it. Hope you're having a great time. Those of you that are here realize that we are here as well. I wanted to tell a story today of the birth of chiropractic, the origin story of chiropractic. I'm really passionate about this because the origin of chiropractic is pretty unique. It started with D.D. Palmer, who was actually a business owner. He had he wore a lot of different hats in the 1890s. 1895, he started this profession because he a few years earlier had lost his spouse, his wife. He had a couple of kids, and they all shared the same house. They ate at the same table. They had the same meals. They lived in the same environment. Yet she got sick with something and passed away, and they were left alone without her. And he thought, we're all in the same environment. We all live in the same house and eat the same food. Why is it that when we're exposed to an illness, one of us gets sick, or not all of us? And this is really important today as well, because we are obviously all thinking about a sickness around us, surrounding us, and not everybody is symptomatic, and not everybody is feeling the effects of this sickness, even though they may be exposed to it. So what is the difference? And you have to look at the internal environment. And that's what D.D. Palmer did. He said there's got to be a difference between my wife who passed away, her internal environment, and how the body is working. So he studied the body. He studied the nervous system without knowing he was studying the nervous system back in the 1890s. And he found and had a theory that there was some sort of signal that was sent from the brain to all of the body systems, to the cells, the tissues, and the organs. And he said, this system has to be working well in order for the organism to be healthy, meaning the human, the body. So he studied and studied, and he came up with this theory that there were signals called quanta that sent information from the brain through the nervous system, the spinal cord, out in the nerves to the organs. This is something he was way ahead of his time. He had no way of imaging this. There was no measurement tools for this. He just had this epiphany and studied after looking at cadavers of animals and people. And then he met a man in his office building who had lost his hearing. And after investigation and discussion, he found out that this man had lost his hearing because he picked up a really heavy bucket about 17 years prior. His name was Harvey Lillard, and he picked up that bucket and twisted something out of place, and something popped, and then he couldn't hear for another 17 years till he met D.D. Palmer. D.D. Palmer said, well, this guy almost got run over by a fire engine. He can't even hear a watch right here next to his ear ticking. The hearing is so impaired, but it wasn't like he was born that way. He had an event that caused it. So maybe something was inhibiting those signals, those quanta that he called them, from the brain to what controlled hearing. And so he said, look, if I can inspect your neck and your spine and feel where there's misalignment, I'm sure if I can put it back into place, you'll get your hearing back. Now, that's something that I don't know how he could guarantee, which he didn't, but he assumed that that's how the body worked. And at the time, he was way ahead of his day. So he performed the adjustment after a lot of discussion and a lot of convincing. And after that first adjustment, Harvey Lillard got his hearing back. And D.D. Palmer maybe he was amazed, but he expected that to happen. So healing happens. We expect it and we need it to happen, but we have to also put in the work to get it to happen. We have to remove the blockages from the body's signaling, the brain signaling to the cells, tissues, and organs of the body. And that is what we're really meant to do, is live a life free of these type of things. So all we have to do is find and correct those and keep them corrected through a series of wellness adjustments in time. Now, D.D. Palmer was way ahead of his time. 2 years later, 1895 was the first adjustment. 2 years later, he formed the Palmer School of Chiropractic. There was such a demand to get his technique out to the masses because so many people were ailing and sick and needing chiropractic care. They came up with a term for it called chiropractic, which means done by hand. And they studied and they taught other people how to deliver chiropractic care And 2 years later, Palmer School of Chiropractic in Davenport, Iowa was born. And in early 2000s, I went there and stayed in Davenport for about 4 years to get my Doctor of Chiropractic degree. And I'm very proud to have gone to what they call now the fountainhead of chiropractic, where it all began, the birthplace. So I hope this origin story puts some sense into what we do and a little history as well. If you have any questions about it and want to talk further, please email us at office@greystonechiropractor.com, or you can call us 205-981-8090, or even text that number. If you want to leave a message here, I'll be happy to answer your message as soon as I'm free to do so. Thanks so much. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you soon.